This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about. Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
3, 2.
Welcome to Daily Blast Live. It's Wednesday, November 6th. I'm here with Stephanie, Brandon, Erica. I'm Jeff. Let's dive right in, guys. For the first time ever, Whitney Houston's best friend is talking about their romance. It's all laid out in Robin Crawford's new book called A Song for You, My Life with Whitney Houston. Robin is the woman on the far right in this picture. She says they met in 1980. They both were counselors at a summer camp and before Whitney became a superstar. Robin writes, "We never talked about labels like lesbian or gay. We just lived our lives, and I hoped it could go on that way forever. We really meant everything to each other. We vowed to stand by each other." So, to be perfectly honest, I didn't even hear this rumor. I never knew this.
Well, so I've heard this many times.
A lot of people do. Yeah.
Right. And to be honest, it's not really a rumor. I mean, it was very well known.
Right, I shouldn't say rumor. I should say I've never heard this story.
Right, but it was very well known that she and Robin were besties of besties, and there wasn't necessarily a label for that relationship. But this coming out, and I'm glad that Robin's able to finally tell her truth in a safe space, because it's been reported, now these are rumors, that she was threatened along the way to stay silent because it was going to be bad for Whitney's career. It was also reported, which are rumors, that Bobby Brown wanted to keep Robin distant because he felt like she was a threat to not only their relationship but also their careers. I just personally, I feel terrible for Whitney Houston and the legacy of Whitney Houston, because I don't think people really understand the way that she was built up to be torn down, and the idea that you've never been able to live your truth, and there were so many things that weren't organically who she was, but she had to pretend to be that because her star was bigger than her person. It's a tragedy.
I think as well, when you look at this story, I mean, you've got to think about when all this happened, and it was in like the early 80s, and at that particular time, being part of the LGBTQ community, I hate to say this, but it was kind of frowned upon. It wasn't as open and as it is now, and it's accepted. And so I feel that, you know, they really had to keep their relationship kind of unlabeled, under wraps, and even Whitney's mom was really not approving of it, and she tried to like separate them, saying this isn't normal or whatever.
Unnatural.
It's unnatural. And so, I mean, I'm glad that she's been able to come out and speak her truth. She is married to a lady now, and she's obviously very open about that now. But I mean, it's really sad that they both had to go through this.
She's married to a lady, but it ain't Whitney. But no, I just feel two ways between. I just feel two things between this. Kind of like you, Jeff. I had no clue about this. You know, my mother was a huge Whitney Houston fan. I never heard anything about this. But now, since we're in this age of not so much digging up dirt, but people telling their truths about what happened back in the day, I would like to hear from Bobby now. I would like to hear Bobby's side of the story. I would like to hear Whitney's mother, if she's still alive, kind of speak up on that, because it's one thing just to get it just from this book, just from this memoir. Right. But I would also like to hear other parties involved. And
I don't want to hear from Bobby about this. He has nothing to do with it.
But that's just one side of the story, though.
He has nothing to do with it.
Erica, you just said that this woman was threatened and said that she had to stay in the back. Allegedly, it was a rumor because of Bobby. Don't you want to hear?
No, it wasn't solely because of Bobby.
Because of her legacy. So
it was because they were living a LGBTQ lifestyle in a time where we cast away people who were open.
I understand.
And so, but that's not Bobby's story to tell. He has no place in telling.
I think that would be very skewed as well.
No, this is her story. This is the first time that she has been able to tell her story. Let her tell it. Everybody else has had an opportunity. They can be quiet.
Plus
I want to hear from Robin.
I remember with Bobby, I think it was Robin Roberts, I don't know, but he said he had sex with ghosts. So I don't know how much I want to hear from Bobby. Is that Robin Roberts? You remember that?
No, wasn't that Tyler, the psychic medium?
I think it was Bobby Brown with Robin Roberts. Well,
let's X Bobby off the list.
I'm getting that I'm right.
Okay.
We're going to leave it at that.
Never mind.
All right, guys. An old Hollywood star is making a movie from beyond the grave. Raquel, who are we talking about?
Well, Jeff, James Dean is making a return to the big screen. The legendary actor died in 1955 when he was just 24 years old, but he will star in a new action film about the Vietnam War. CGI technology will use old footage and photos to recreate his presence on screen. Filmmakers did get the rights to use his image from his family. The casting choice has been met with some mixed reactions. Actor Chris Evans tweeted in part, "This is awful. Maybe we can get a computer to paint us a new Picasso or write a couple new John Lennon tunes." So DBL Nation, what do you think?
Thanks, Raquel. Listen, sorry, Chris Evans. I think this is cool. I mean, he's super iconic. I don't want to do this with everybody, but I mean, like a James Dean type, that's kind of cool.
I think this is going to happen more and more. So obviously, we were just talking about Whitney, and now there's a hologram tour of Whitney that's going around. And then also we're seeing that as well with that series on Netflix, the gangster series that you're really excited about.
Oh, yeah, The Irishman.
Where they're actually making like Robert De Niro and other people look considerably younger. So I think this is good. This is just the start of, you know, trends to come with this kind of thing.
But just to touch up on the hologram thing, remember Whitney, Amy Winehouse, Prince, a lot of their estates don't want the hologram to come out. So I understand that James Dean's family wants that likeness, but at the same time, I'm one of those people where it's like when you die, let the legacy die and not try and bring up all these holograms and try to pop it.
But I never really got to enjoy James Dean unless you go back and watch old movies.
Right, but maybe that's where when did he die?
I think 1955.
Yeah,
but then again,
that's
I'm right again.
We talk about it with writing, Erica, all the time. Let the new talent come through too.
But it's also like the estate is a little bit more detached than the estates of some of the people that you're talking about, because these are recent deaths. You're also talking about a catalog of music that they performed. This is coming up with an entirely new script. Imagine having holograms of us and they could just say whatever they wanted to say.
I
mean, there's
if someone like called me out, I'd be like, that wasn't me, that was hologram Jeff.
No, hologram Erica. Brandon, no, you need to take your hologram self back where the holograms came from. No, let's just keep it the way we are right now.
That was a good one, Brad. That was a good one. That was a good one.
All right,
guys. Rapper T.I. had the sex talk with his 18-year-old daughter. Nothing wrong with that, right? But he's taking it further. He says he goes to the gynecologist with her to make sure she's still a virgin. Steph, is this okay as a father, or does this cross the line?
Right, okay. Do I think it's right for your father to be invested in you, your health, and like genuinely love and care about you? Of course. Is it right to encourage your daughter to go and have a smear and check for, for cervical cancer? Yes, of course. Is it right for you to go with your 18-year-old daughter and find out if she's still a virgin? Where does the doctor, client privacy lines draw here? Because I think as soon as you turn 16, I don't think that there should be any right anymore. Like, he shouldn't be able to do
it's
that.
It's probably 18, but I don't know if that's
apparently she signed off on this. But I think that clearly they have a really great relationship. But at the same time, I would caution to let T.I. know that he's potentially giving his daughter some experiences, having a difficulty taking ownership over her own sexual health and experience.
Interesting.
And I know this because I grew up with a very militant father who was very much like, this is the way to do things and this is what you don't do. And I was I complied the entire time I lived at home. But once I got out in the streets, I had no idea what the world had for me. So to actually send your child out ill prepared with the only thing is close your legs, I don't think that's really the best way to do things.
But with the type of father that T.I. is, don't you think that their relationship, he will kind of explain to her what guys want out of you, what you need to look for certain type of guys?
He also has an experience where he has a heightened experience of what a relationship or interactions with women are.
Yeah.
So every time he sees his daughter, or he thinks, well, I don't want her to be like that, which I can understand. I can understand why my dad talked to me the way that he talked to me. But there are consequences for that, and you might want to think about that before you start going to OBGYN appointments with your grown daughter.
Yeah, I I get what you're saying, and I'm glad you're saying it in the way you are, because you are a daughter and you have a great father. And I just look at it as this guy being a great father. I mean, just think about how many people out there, women, men, whatever, have daddy issues who they wish their dad could have took them to go see their OBGYN.
I don't know if people are wishing for that, but
but being involved, at least being involved.
Here's the fallacy about daddy issues is that people always assume it's the absentee father that gives you daddy issues. Daddy issues, not that I have them, can also be caused by a father who was very much there. So I think that you should really kind of like think about it more in terms of what is going to be best for your daughter in terms of her psychological health.
I kind of see where you're coming from, Brandon. We'll talk about it in a break a little bit more. Check us out on Facebook and YouTube if you want to see that conversation. DBL is live, and coming up, how much would you pay for Michael Jackson's famous moonwalk socks? Wait till you hear the price and other weird celeb items up for auction. And Lady Gaga finally opens up about that performance. You know, the one with Bradley Cooper. Was it true love? Stephanie Jones gives us a scoop next on What Up Wednesday.
This November, escape the winter with a luxury-included Caribbean vacation to Sandals Resorts. Watch Daily Blast Live every day for a word of the day. Then enter at dailyblastlive.com/sandals for your chance to win a 4-day, 3-night escape for 2. The winner will be announced on DBL November 26th. Stop dreaming and start entering for your chance to win the trip of a lifetime.
Tomorrow, the father of STEM school shooting victim Kendra Castillo comes to DBL.
You know, he was my best friend, and he was the love of his mother's life.
His hero son, taken too soon. Heartbreaking details about the day of the shooting.
The female detective, she said, "I'm so sorry."
Plus the important reason he wants to come here and be live on our panel. Don't miss tomorrow.
I remember that place.
We are live. Jeff is having a trip down the Chicago memory lane. If any of you DBL Nation fans out there remember a restaurant or place in Chicago called Minnie's, please let us know.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's called Mini. Everything was Mini. You get the airplane bottle. If you order vodka, it was like the airplane bottle. The beers were like half the size of beer. The desserts, all the food, the burgers,
sliders.
Everything was Mini.
Sliders.
Everything was tiny.
It didn't last.
It didn't last.
In Chicago, we want everything bigger.
You want bigger? Yeah. It was cute.
Not little.
It was very cute.
So we were talking about daddy issues.
Yes.
Yeah, and I just learned something, because when I thought of this, I was like, ooh, Erica's gonna love this when I say this. I was like, daddy issues are from an absent father, but I mean, you kind of just let us know that it can happen.
Well,
with
daddy
a
issues
present
come from like terrible things that your father does to you. You know what I mean? So it comes from that. I mean, there's a lot of different daddy issues, I think.
Yeah.
I think so. Well, I just think of like people that I know who really struggle with issues with their father. Let's not call them like daddy issues that kind of move on to their adult life. And most of them are people who their father were like overly generous with them. And then when they left the house, they didn't understand how to function in life because their father is continuing to take care of everything, which creates a dynamic of daddy issues too.
I was just thinking, like, for T.I., just to get his back a little bit and go off what you were saying. You know how, like, the old school days, you're like, you don't, well, it was the old school days when you, like, had a gun and be like, make sure my daughter's home by 11. Yeah. You're not really going to shoot him. Maybe he had his best interest, like, we're going to go to a gynecologist just to make sure. But he wasn't really going in there and checking it out. He was just, like, doing that to be like, I want you to do the right thing.
That's what I was thinking.
You know what I mean? I'm just trying to see the other side of the story. I hear you, though. You make a good
We got What Up Wednesday coming up.
Oh, we're all going to cheer.
Welcome back to DBL. It's What Up Wednesday, where I fill you lot in on all the hot celebrity gossip. So let's head on over to our What Up World map, where our first stop is LA, where Kylie Jenner has been seen hanging out with a new man only 1 month after her breakup with Travis Scott. Drumroll, please. Who is it? It's Drake. So People magazine magazine say that they could be romantically linked. She was spotted at his birthday and Halloween party, and she even stayed super late both times too. Here's what's up. I mean, is anyone surprised? Clearly, she's got a type. Her two last men made their living as rappers, but let's not forget, Drake and Kanye have got beef. Would Kylie date someone that her brother-in-law can't stand? Probably. Do I care? Not really. Am I over the Jenners and Kardashians? Yep. So let's stay in LA for the next story because it's all about Bradley Cooper and Lady Gaga. And yes, I'm talking about that performance. You remember Gaga and Bradley singing at the Oscars, looking deeply into each other's eyes, and we were all convinced that they were in love. Well, sorry to break your heart, but Lady Gaga says it was all a lie. Yeah, she told Elle magazine it was all acting. Of course, they hammed it up. They were trying to win an Oscar after all. Well, here's what's up. I say hogwash, Lady Gaga. You might be a performer, but does this look like a lie? Meryl Streep couldn't pull that off. Gaga, your Pepper Poker face is not that good, babe. And finally, we're going to London, where Hugh Grant is throwing a tiz. He had some words for the store Pret-a-Manger. What is Pret-a-Manger, I hear you say? Well, imagine a fancy Starbucks with like a French name. Well, anyway, back to Hugh. He wasn't happy that Pret was playing Christmas music in November. I mean, who in the right mind does that? Back off, Mariah Carey. Pret gave a cheeky reply saying they just wanted him to see his dance moves. I mean, I don't blame them, don't we all? But here's what's up. I'm Team Hugh. Only psychos put their tree up and play Christmas music this early. Hey, Jeff, can you verify this theory?
Hold on. Sound effects.
That's busted. I put up my tree already. It's already up.
I
Played
commend
Christmas
you.
jams over the weekend.
Really?
I'm not scared. I like pumpkin spice. I like boy bands. I put my tree up early. Come at me.
No, all right. I love Christmas just as much as the next person, but calm down. You and Mariah Carey, like the moment it turns midnight on Halloween, you guys are going crazy.
Do you know how I'm cooking soup right now in my house? It smells all wintry. I have the lights up. It's
Until Thanksgiving, it ain't happening.
I still got the pumpkins. There's pumpkins there too.
Pumpkins and Santa Claus
Pumpkins
don't
and
go
a
together.
tree?
Yes, they do. On the balcony, I have the pumpkins, and inside, I have the tree.
I think it's fair.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks, Erica.
I'm with you, Stephanie. And thank you. That was a great What Up Wednesday.
Thank you.
Oh!
Coming up on DBL, how much would you pay for Olivia Newton-John's famous black pants from Greece? You'd be surprised how much one billionaire shelled out, and we've got other weird celeb auction items when we come back.
If you have Medicare, listen up. The Medicare enrollment deadline is only weeks.
With so many changes, do you know if your plan is still the right fit? Having the wrong plan cost you thousands of dollars out of pocket.
And that's why I love health.
Behind bars after 9 Americans were killed in an ambush. We told you about that yesterday. Now 8 children survived the attack, and we're learning one of them was a 13-year-old who walked 6 hours to get his family help. I'll keep you updated on this developing story. Election day is over, and it was a big day for Democrats in 2 states. In Virginia, Democrats will now control the House and the Senate for the first time in decades. And in Kentucky, Andy Beshear is declaring victory over Governor Matt Bevin, but as of this morning, he had not yet conceded. Drama! Republicans did have a good night in Mississippi, though, where they held on to the governor's office. DBL Nation, this has been Fast Blast for you. Make sure you tune in this afternoon when Raquel Villanueva brings you our entertainment Fast Blast. Bye now.
Chinese censorship is shaping the movies you see in the United States. So how is the restrictive regime able to exert influence over films made in the land of the free? Let's connect the dots. China is playing an increasingly important role in Hollywood. It's the second biggest box office behind North America. It's so big that even if a movie bombs domestically, it can go on to make decent money if it does well in China. And studios have to fight to be on screens in Shanghai. The government only allows 34 foreign films to be shown in the country every year. So that means most of Hollywood goes out of its way to make sure they don't anger censors in China. Marvel is one of the biggest examples, and the concession can be small, like Captain America using a Chinese-made cell phone, to pretty big, like changing the ancient one in Doctor Strange from a Tibetan monk to a white woman. The Chinese government claims Tibet is part of China. People in Tibet don't necessarily agree, so it's safer not to bring it out.
Welcome back to DBL. Over 25 years ago, while performing Billie Jean at the 1983 Motown 25 concert, Michael Jackson busted out his iconic moonwalk for the very first time. And next week, those flashy socks he was wearing will hit the auction block. The starting bid, get this, $100,000, but the auction house says the King of Pop's crystal stockings will go for more than $1 million.
I gotta pause you. I know I'm not supposed to, but those are some gold toes bedazzled. How come no one told us that he was moonwalking in some gym socks? Look at those gold toes. Those aren't even real diamonds. I am so disappointed. I needed to have never seen that photo.
You should
that is not
your
okay.
music video.
I should have.
See? That's me thinking as an A&R.
We got a lot more to go.
Okay,
earlier this week, Olivia Newton-John's famous black satin pants from Greece were bought by the founder of Spanx for $162,000. Those are pretty cool. That's a lot of money. So today we are looking at the weirdest celebrity items up for auction. First up, Elvis Presley's underwear. They bought a bid of $8,000 but did not sell because the minimum amount was set at $11,000. So if you want those, $11,000,
Who wants
you
a
got
pair
to
of dirty underwear? I mean, like, I know people like a bit of kinkiness, but that's a bit gross.
They look kind of like granny panties.
They did look like that sexy.
They're a little big. A little big. No one wears tighty whities anymore.
He got a little big towards the end. He got a little big. All right, guys. The online casino Golden Palace paid $25,000 for William Shatner's kidney stone. He donated the proceeds to Habitat for Humanity, though. So it went to a good cause.
Yeah.
But what kind of weirdo
Who
wants
wants a
that?
kidney stone?
I don't even want one.
What does a kidney
let alone
stone
his.
look like?
It's like literally like a stone, like a little pebble.
And they have to pass through your body, so that's $25,000 that he's like, I need that back.
How do you pass it?
He's peed it out.
I'm just kidding. I'm just
Don't
kidding.
get me in trouble, man.
I know. I wanted to see if you guys bid on that one, and you
Jeff's
did.
trying to set me up.
It was an obvious setup. It was rhetorical. And that same casino paid $5,100 for Britney Spears' used pregnancy test. The positive test was found in a hotel trash can that was shared by the pop star and her then husband, Kevin Federline.
Wait, what?
How do you
They
know
went
these are real?
through the trash.
Yes,
Okay,
of
no,
course they
I believe that. I believe that because one of my friends, his uncle was the manager of a hotel. Michael Jackson stayed in that hotel. He took all the bedding from it. So I believe those kinds of stories because they have proof that they stayed there.
I don't even know the answer, but can't you extract like DNA from some of these items
course.
and then kind of create like a baby with them?
Not from
that possible?
urine.
What?
I don't think from urine, no.
Urine?
No. No.
Urine?
No. First of all, no. You can't create a baby.
Well, how about his tooth? Like, is there a certain
No, we're not there yet, Jeff. We are not there. We're not even close to there.
All right, well, appearing on The Tonight Show with Jay Leno, Scarlett Johansson blew her nose, DNA, in a tissue that later brought $5,300 at a charity auction. Gross. And John Lennon lost a tooth, there you go, Erica, and gave it to his housekeeper. It was later auctioned off for $44,000. Wow. A booger tissue?
Yeah, well, I actually took a celebrity water bottle.
Oh, what is she laughing at?
Oh, we got the giggles. I love it.
Hey, for $50, I can give you some of Stephanie's Jones.
Can you make a baby from it too?
What do you mean?
Girl, that was like 5 minutes ago. Keep up.
What are you talking about? It's DNA. Can't you make it? You get the DNA like Jurassic Park, and you get it from that mosquito, and you get a whole park.
I'm dying that you just catching on to this.
Why are you?
You can't get DNA from like a tooth?
We analyzed it. We went around the block, and then you just got it.
What are you laughing so hard for? Like you're a scientist. We'll be right back.
Promotional.
Yes, honey, you heard right. The beauty police are back. Yes, and when I say beauty police, it's myself. I'm here to enforce the law of beauty to everyone across the lands. And this week, I'm here to enforce those cracked knuckles, those ashy kneecaps, and those ankles that look like they might start a fire, honey. Yes, it is about that time of the year where everyone needs to start lotioning up, my friends. Now, I'm not here to just call everyone out, but just about everyone needs to start using some more lotions. Now, you don't have to be too crazy. I have a couple tips here that are gonna help you out and put out those fires that your ankles is about to start. Yes, I see you, girl. Put on some lotion. Now, step 1, apply a moisturizer. Yeah, apply a moisturizer or lotion of some sort. Oh my gosh, it kills me to see how many people just go about life without applying any lotion or hydration onto their skin. Do you care about yourself? Do you value your life? Do you know that someone out there cares for you? And his name is Jeray, honey, because I'm here to help you. Put some type of lotion on. It doesn't have to be fancy. It doesn't have to be suave. It can be Jergens. It can be, you know, your nephew's baby lotion. Just put on some type of lotion for the love of God. It helps everybody else out. Now, step 2, you want to apply a thick cream, my friends. Now, a cream is going to help a bit more than just your regular lotion. If you're using something that's really lightweight and shakeable, it's probably not sealing in the hydration for you. Instead, you want something that's a nice thick finish. One of my favorites happens to be something with cocoa butter or shea butter involved. Typically, these have a little bit more of a thicker viscosity. Anyways, it's a thicker cream, so you should put it on your skin because I'm not the one who's ashy here. Now, step 3, you want to make sure that you're applying right after you get out the shower. Yes, it sounds kind of crazy, it's going to be kind of wet, but you want your body to be slightly damp before you put on your moisturizer so your skin can stay hydrated and radiant. Like your boy Jeray for the Slays. Now, if you guys need more beauty tips, make sure you're following me at Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all that good stuff at Jeray for the Slay, and we'll see you guys next time.
It is time to honor our DBL Superstar of the Week. This is such a good one. Lori Wood is a nurse in Georgia who helped save the life of a patient in more ways than one. 27-year-old Jonathan Pinkard was taken off the heart transplant list because, get this, he didn't have a support system. And one of the requirements is that you need someone to care for you after the transplant. Well, Jonathan's grandmother raised him, but she died in 2012. He'd been in and out of men's shelters all the while struggling with his health. When Lori heard his story, she stepped in and adopted him, becoming his legal guardian. Take a look.
It really wasn't anything that I struggled about. It was just something that had to happen. He had to come home with me.
I'm really thankful, and if it really wasn't for her, that I would not be the person I am today.
Okay, someone's chopping onions in here. Jonathan is doing great now. Lori monitors his medications, takes him to appointments, and is teaching him life skills so he can learn to live independently.
That's awesome.
I mean,
I don't even know if awesome does it. That's a great way to leave on start the weekend. Right.
Happy Friday,
Happy
everybody.
Friday, guys.
Today's Sandals word of the day is pina colada.
Welcome back. Every year, Jimmy Kimmel pranks kids by having their parents tell them that they ate all their Halloween candy. We all know this one. Watch.
Don't eat people's candy.
Okay, I'm really, really sorry.
Is that okay? One, go now! Go! It's in Mexico. Now! Because that was all your fault. Go!
Erica, what would Roosevelt would have said if you would have acted like that? Come on.
I can't even say it.
We'll see you guys tomorrow, same time, same place.